Yes, hello everyone. Thank you, Elias, for already presenting me. Let me briefly add there to some points. So last winter, I defended my PhD in philosophy at the Autonomous University of Barcelona, and I recently came back from a research stay at the Institute of Prešov in Eastern Slovakia. And right now I am entangled in several application procedures regarding a postdoc position in which I seek to realize the project that I'm going to share with you today. So what I'm intending to do is to elaborate a situationalist account of beauty. The assumption that I am questioning is that beauty lies in the eye of the beholder. I see this proverb as aptly subsuming the Western commonsensical notion of beauty, in which beauty is located in the human, in her perception. In this regard, beauty is an epistemology, a kind of human look onto the world. But the finding that lies at the start of my thinking is that an aesthetic judgment does not alter the reality of the perceived. I assume, but I do not wish to further focus on the fact that an aesthetic judgment alters the reality of the perceiver, but my focus lies on the reality of the perceived. There certainly are aesthetic judgments that alter the reality of the perceived, such as when I find a flower beautiful in a shop and for this reason buy it, which leads to a change in the reality of a flower by moving from shop to, for instance, my living room. But I claim that an aesthetic judgment still is complete, even when it is not affecting a change in the reality of the perceived, such as when I neither pick nor picture a flower on a meadow, but simply find it beautiful in this situation and walk on. And the implication I see as inherent in this finding is that beauty does not lie in perception, but beauty must be there in order to be perceived. Just because I find it beautiful, a thing does not start to sparkle if it did not sparkle before. So I do think we do not wear such glittery glasses as the singer Dalida does here in her 1985 campaign for the French glasses brand Alain Nickley, but I do think that beauty resides in the world. Vice versa, I wonder, why should a thing lose its beauty only by me turning my back towards it? So the claim that I seek to make is that the modern conception of beauty mistakenly equates beauty's perception with beauty's existence. I think beauty is not a kind of perception, but it rather is a kind of existence. It is not a human achievement about the world, but it rather is the way in which the world happens. And as a disciplinary consequence of this finding, we need to redisentangle aesthetics and the theory of beauty. Etymologically, the term aesthetics means perception, and I agree with it, denoting the study of the perception of beauty, which evidently must be epistemological. But I wish to discern therefrom the study of beauty as an existence, which by consequence must be an ontological kind of research. And I say redisentangle here, because if we read into the history of the study of beauty, it soon becomes evident that for 2000 years almost, beauty was held as ontological, whereas only the last 500 years an epistemological definition of beauty was held. But now you certainly wonder how. How could we research beauty in an ontological manner? As one way to prove and research beauty as an existence, I propose to focus especially on such beauties that so far did not become perceived, or at least that currently are not attended to. Therewith, I seek to propose not an essentialist distinction between two kinds of beauty, but rather a situationalist one, as two distinct situations in which every beauty can find itself. And if beauty can be accessed in its status of unperceivedness, then beauty cannot be restricted to human perception. So my argument goes. But now you again wonder, but how? How do we research such beauties? As a byproduct and problem of the situationalist distinction I propose, beautiful existences are prone to switch from one situation to another. When thus straightly staring at and pointing with our own research finger onto unperceived beauties, they directly turn into perceived beauties. So the conventional researcher, which I here define as a spectator, is trapped in an endless cycle of facing beauty as perceived, aversing beauty and losing access to it, facing beauty as perceived, aversing beauty and losing access to it, and so on. So what we need, I claim, is a method that allows us to approach and research unperceived beauties with more refinement. As such, I suspect that need to research and test further the method of speculation. Because even when we are not looking at a flower, we can speculate the beauty of how it sits in a vase, how it bows with the wind, how it matches the tableware, or how it corresponds in its proportion of petals and stem. So let me subsume. What I aspire to grow is a postmodern realist ontology of beauty. And I see this as needed because I regard our present times, our zeitgeist, as marked by a rift between a constant increase in the striving for beauty in the everyday and a clinging to the modern conception of beauty as something superficial, as concerning, so to speak, only our feelings towards experiences. And if beauty is an existence on its own, we need to take it more seriously, also but not only in its importance for human existence. Thank you for your attention.